Hello and welcome to another mobility exercise video. Today we're going to be focusing on internal rotation of the hip joint. So here on the channel we have several different mobility exercise drills, but for the hips specifically there's 4 that we focus on in the directions: flexion, extension, external rotation, and internal rotation. So check out the other 3 videos on hips. This one specifically is for internal rotation. In everyday movement and life and most yoga poses, it's almost all external rotation of the hips. So we're always working on opening the hips in butterfly pose, lizard lunge, bird of paradise. There's so many poses where you're bringing your knee up and then out, where it's externally rotating that thigh and they're coming outwards. So we want to be able to also be mobile for the internal rotation. It's really important to find that balance in the hips. And in everyday movement and training, there's just not much internal rotation. So this video is going to really help you work on that, and it'll also help just balance the hips overall. Before we do specific mobility exercises, we always want to warm up the joint first with a routine called controlled articular rotations, abbreviated as CARs. So you can do these both standing or down on the ground in all 4. So for simplicity of this video, we're just going to do it down on the ground. So this is a follow along video, so please join in with me. All you need is your mat and your body and a little bit of willpower, because it's going to get kind of tough. We recommend that you do these mobility exercises a few times a week, maybe at the end of your yoga practice or after you're already warmed up. These videos are not intended to only have mobility exercises and then do nothing else with the body. It's really important to also be moving the body in all directions every day. Through the system of functional range conditioning, it's important to remember that this is tough work. These exercises are not meant to do on your rest day or to be like an easy practice or something to do when you're feeling tired. This is strength training for the joints. So yeah, you might sweat a little, you might shake a little, you're probably going to be working pretty hard. So we just want to remind you that this isn't something to just add in randomly to your classes when you want a rest day. This is specifically to increase the end range of your internal rotation of the hip joint. When you're ready to begin, let's meet in a tabletop for CARs. So we'll start with the left leg just so you can see a little bit easier in the video. Start to bring your left knee towards your left elbow. Without moving anything else in the body, you're only working on moving that left leg. Start to bring the left knee out towards the left. Make the biggest circle you can without having the other joints start to compensate. Bring the left knee back. Without coming into a back bend, lift the knee as high as you can, and then start to lower the knee back down to the ground. Let it hover and reverse back out of that circle. Bring it back all the way around. You might hear some popping or cracking. It's all good. Bring the knee back down to the ground, and let's do one more rotation with the left leg. Left knee comes up to the left elbow. Bring it all the way around. Nice and slow. You're sort of dragging your leg all the way through the rim of the socket of the hip joint. So you want to move very slowly and really keep that knee lifted as high as you can. And lower it back down. Great. Now we'll work on the right side. Right knee comes up towards the right elbow. Start to bring the right knee out. All the way around. Back and down towards the ground. Let it hover and reverse back out of that circle. So again, nothing else is moving in the body. So if you notice that your spine is dipping down or up, or you're rounding the back, then try to eliminate that. Only use the right leg. And one more time on the right side. Reverse it back out. All the way out to the side, to the front, and down. Very nice job. So now we're going to make our way into a position that we call 90-90. So you're basically going to bring both of your legs into a 90-degree angle from each other. So maybe you can see here in the video, if you do have a yoga mat, it's a little bit easier to set up. So your left shin and your right quad are going to be parallel with the end of your mat. And then your left quad and your right shin are going to be parallel with the outside edges of your mat. So if you look down at your legs now and you see that one leg is in, one foot is in, or maybe this one is farther in or out, it's really important to try to get as close as you can to that 90-90 first and set this up before we move on with the mobility exercises. So just like I explained in our other mobility routine videos, we need to come into the position that we would, but then we need to stay for about 2 minutes to just allow the hip joint in this case to relax, to open up, to start sending those signals in the neurons so that it can talk a little bit easier and understand what's going on with the joint. So we don't want to just jump right into the mobility exercise without first resting in this passive position. It's just a lot safer on the joint. So we've got maybe about 30 more seconds here. And we're only going to be working on the back leg, so the right leg in this case. The left leg will still be helping out to keep the structure and stability, but we're more focusing and doing the progressive and regressive drills with only the right leg. Great. So now we've hit about that 2-minute mark, and we can start with the exercise. But first I would like you to set this up correctly so that you are coming into your comfortable end range and you're not cheating. So I would like you to first lift up your right ankle up off the ground and see if you can get any sort of lift. And if you can, then I would like you to back up a little bit more, just until the point where you really can't lift the ankle up off the ground, okay? Maybe just a little bit, but not much. What I'm trying to avoid you doing is to lean forward over the left leg, and then you're just doing this with the back ankle, okay? So we really want to force ourselves to come into that end range so that the ankle almost can make no movement here. And that's where we're doing, and that's where we can do the full strength training in the hip. So before we begin, I'd like you to keep your left knee down on the ground the entire time. So it's going to have a tendency to lift up because it wants to help out. Keep it pressed down. So now we're going to look back at our right ankle, and we're going to start by pressing the right ankle down into the ground, almost as if we're trying to carve down into the wood and bring our leg like this, okay? So you're not actually moving the leg, you're not actually moving the knee, but I just want you to visualize and imagine that you're pressing your ankle down into the ground and towards the midline. So let's start with 50% effort. So start to push the ankle down, 50%, 75%, 90%, and now give it 100% effort. Push the ankle down into the ground. Maybe you start to feel cramping. I do already. Engage the muscles in the core, the shoulders, the back, the glutes. Give it all you got. Keep pressing down. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now without leaning forward, start to lift the right ankle up towards the sky. It's probably not going to move very far, if at all, but just give it your best. Lift, lift, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep pushing your left knee down to the ground. 2, and 1. Release. Maybe you can walk the hands a little bit more to the right. And let's go for a second round. So again, start to drive the right ankle down into the mat. Give it 50% effort. And at the same time, you're pressing down that left knee. You're engaging the core. You're engaging the pecs, the back, the glutes, everything. Give it all you got. 75% effort on that ankle. 90% effort. And 100% effort. Really push that ankle down into the ground. Again, if you start to shake or cramp, it's all good. That's part of it. Keep it up. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Immediately lift off the ankle. Maybe just energetically. You shouldn't see much of a lift. Really pull it up towards the sky. Last 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep driving that left knee down as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Release. Now we're going to do some lift offs. So you're going to stay here in this 90-90 position. And then you're just going to actually, if you need to walk forward just a little bit more, you can. But you're going to actually lift the ankle up off the ground just 1 or 2 inches. So not far. So if you notice that the ankle is coming all the way up here, then you're probably leaning too far forward over your left leg. I would like you to just find this spot, this space, where you can only lift just a couple of inches, okay? So now let's find that spot once you're there and begin to lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now this time you're going to lift up both your knee and your ankle, and then you're going to hold it here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Great job. Maybe reset the legs. And let's do 10 more lift-offs and 1 more hover to finish off this side, and then we'll move over to the left hip. So again, start to lift the ankle up. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now lift up both the knee and the ankle. Let them hover above the ground. Just give it your best. 10, 9, 8. Keep pressing the left knee down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the leg down. Very nicely done. I know that's tough stuff, but this is strength training for the joints. It's not meant to be easy. So now we're going to rotate over to the other side of the mat. And to get there, I would like you to first start to lift your right knee up towards the sky. Now keep your left knee down towards the mat as long as you can. So keep lifting the right knee up, 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 until you've really reached the maximum distance between the knees that you possibly can. And then you can bring both hands behind you to help counterbalance the weight. And then continue to bring the right knee over, but keep as much space between the legs as you can. Flex both feet. And make your way all the way to the other side of your mat. Great. And then again, set yourself up in this 90-90 position. Awesome. So we're going to stay here for just about 2 minutes to let the hip on this internal rotation of the left leg really start to sink in and relax so that the joint can understand a little bit more and it can trust a little bit more that you are taking good care of it, that you are not doing anything dangerous that's going to injure it. Otherwise, if your joint feels like there's danger or that something is out of your control, then it's going to tense up, and you don't want that. You want to be able to basically train the joint to understand that you're bringing it into the new end range in a very safe way. So about 30 more seconds here. Sit, relax, breathe. Wonderful. Now let's start in with that mobility drill again, PAILs, rails first, and then we'll do the lift-offs and then the hovers at the end. So again, press down the right knee into the ground. It's, as you probably saw, and myself included, the knee might start to lift off to try to help the other leg. You really want to keep that right knee down. Now begin to, well, first find your distance, and it might be a little bit different than what was on the first side. So see if you can lift your ankle up off the ground. If you can lift super high, then it just means you need to lean back to your left a little bit more. Okay? So just find a spot to where you cannot lift the ankle off the ground, and that's where you want to keep your upper body and your chest. So begin to engage all the muscles, so the glutes, the core, the shoulders, the pecs, the chest, everything. We call that irradiation. And now begin to drive the left ankle down into the ground, down and into the midline. Okay, 50% effort. 75%. 90% effort. And 100% effort. Give it all you got. Really push it into the ground. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And immediately reverse. Start to lift that left ankle up towards the sky. Keep that right knee down on the ground. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you can shift a little bit more to the left to come into that new end range. And again, press the right knee down into the ground. Start to irradiate everything in the body. And then we'll go for our second round. Start to drive the left ankle down into the ground. 50% effort. 75. 90. And 100%. Give it everything you have. It's okay if you start to shake. It's perfectly normal. The body is trying to figure out what's going on. It's all good. You're safe. You're good. Last 5, 4. Keep pushing down. 3, 2, and 1. Lift up. Left ankle up towards the sky. You shouldn't really be able to see it go anywhere or do anything. You're just lifting. So it's that inner strength. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Release. Now you can walk a little bit more to the right, and we'll do those lift-offs. So begin to lift the ankle off first. First, let's just check and see how high we can lift it. So you only want to go a couple of inches. So again, if you can't lift the ankle at all, then you're going to want to move more to the right, and then you'll be able to lift it higher. Now, if you're lifting it too high, then you just need to lean more to the left. Okay? So find that spot for you where you can just lift the ankle no more than 2 inches. And let's do 10 of these. So lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Great. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You can do it. Last one. Great job. Now we're going to hover. So lift both the knee and the ankle up off the ground and let them hover there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the leg back down. And we'll do our second round of lift-offs. So again, find those 2 inches, that spot with the chest, the shoulders, to help you feel stable. And let's begin with the lift-offs. So again, press the right knee down into the ground as you lift off with the left ankle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. And now we hover. Last push of this mobility drill. You can do it. So both the ankle and the knee lift off. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the leg down. Wonderful job. Now just to even it out, let's come back into 90-90 on the left side, just so that we can come into that open knee exercise to even it out. So start to bring your left knee up, nice and slow. Keep your right knee pressing down into the mat as long as you can. So now that you've reached that end range, there's no more space between the knees that you can possibly get. Then you can start to lift your right knee up. And it's almost as if there's a magnetic force between the knees and it's pushing your knees away from each other. Great, and the left knee comes all the way down to the ground. Awesome, and then the right. Great, now you can just sit back, windshield wiper the legs. Very nicely done. I know this is tough stuff, and if you haven't done PAILs rails before or any mobility strength training of the joints, then this can be pretty brutal. And we understand when we first started doing it, our joints were so sore. So just know that that's normal, that's part of it, and overall maintaining healthy joints is really just maintaining overall health in the body, because once you start to have a limitation in one joint or any joint, then the rest of your joints are going to start to compensate for that, and that's usually when injuries start to occur. So we always want to have joint independence before interdependence. So being able to move each joint freely in its full range is just going to avoid injury in the long run, and you'll live healthier and happier and longer because you won't have as many injuries as we start to get older. Thank you so much for tuning in today, for doing these drills with me, these exercises. I know they were tough, but you did fantastic. And maybe if you're interested in increasing the rotation of the hips or extension, flexion of the hips, then you can come back to the video again in just a few days and keep working at it. I know it takes time, but eventually over time you'll start to notice your joints open up even more. In addition to the joint mobility videos that we're putting together here on this channel called Breathe and Flow, we also have over 300 other classes, everything from strength training to vinyasa flows, beginner classes, intermediate, advanced tutorials, just about everything you can imagine with yoga, breath work as well, and meditations. It's all here on the channel. So take some time to explore around, see what else there is for you. We'd love to welcome you into our community. The easiest way to help us out and to pay us back for watching this free video with very minimal ads is to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell, share the video with a friend, and just keep sharing, keep contributing, and keep coming back to our classes. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you again tomorrow on the mat. Lots of love. Namaste.